Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Monday, June 10th, 2019. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. As the old saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. But as far as Dexter Jackson is concerned, the 5 words on his shirt say more than any one single picture ever could. Hardest worker in the room. Which I think pretty much sums up Dexter's entire pro career in a nutshell. Outside of some more snow on the mountain, on that beard that looks a whole lot more like salt than pepper these days, Dexter still looks the part of a guy who's a top-tier Olympia contender. He's probably the only man alive who can say that he's outworking Father Time, and until he tells me otherwise, I don't know if I see him slowing down any point here in the near future. The great ones always have a way of making the impossible look easy. And trust me, you can't make greatness look much easier than Etila Santiago is doing right now. After completely dominating the Toronto Pro 2 weeks ago, the hottest rookie prospect in the bikini division is already back to work trying to fine-tune a few more things before she turns it up in her Olympia prep. When you look at the list of names Santiago beat in Toronto, it includes some of the top athletes in our entire division, which should tell you now how insane she really is. So if she cleans up a few things and applies what she learned from her lessons, we could be looking at a potential top 5 Olympian who would only be competing in her 3rd pro show. I've said this from day one. Anthony Gilks will be a top 3 Olympian 2 years from now. This is a direct quote from our source inside the Gilks camp. So far this year, all Gilks has done is rack up a string of top 3 finishes and look like an absolute crown jewel of this year's Classic Physique rookie class, which ain't bad for a guy who's only turned pro 11 months ago. Our sources inside Team Gilks told us that this kid hasn't even begun to enter into his prime yet. And when you look at the small sample size that we've seen so far, this kid is growing by leaps and bounds, and it might be a scary proposition for the rest of the division. Last week, the stock market made a huge mid-week jump after news began to circulate about potential rate cuts from the Fed. Or maybe some smart people just finally started paying attention to what Garrett Coelho has been doing lately. After getting his year started off with a blazing second-place effort at the Dennis James Classic and then the Optimum Pro a few weeks ago, the Classic Physique star continued his hot streak over the weekend with another strong performance at the Omaha Pro. Overall, I think this might be the best that we've seen from Garrett in terms of size and conditioning. So as long as he keeps the arrow trending upward, he'll have a whole lot more people who are ready to buy in. Garrett Coelho wasn't the only guy who impressed me last weekend in Omaha. I also like what I saw from rookie standout Aqeel Dix in his pro debut. Last year's junior national champ came out and delivered one hell of a statement for it being his first time on an IFBB stage. And I had one person tell me that they were really impressed with how much Dix has been able to improve over the last year or so. This Classic Physique division is loaded with new talent that seems to be popping up every time you turn around. But a guy like Dix has the potential to be special if he capitalizes on all that potential over the next few years. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.